Well, g'day, gang, and today I'm having a little bit of fun because I've just run my third half marathon. And I got my buddy Troy Casey on the phone. G'day, Troy.
Good to see you, Brad.
It's good to have you here, my friend, from Southern California, the certified health nut, which is for a Southern Californian. We got all these people out there that are working in business, and we're going to try and teach them that health is wealth. I mean, we're teaching them wealth, but we're teaching them health as well. I just got to say, the thing that I love about Troy, everyone, and the thing that annoys me the most is every time he does a video, he's got his damn shirt off because the guy, he's ripped at 50. Now, I'm not ripped, Troy. I'm doing okay, but 7 years we've been friends. I'm glad you're coming to teach everyone. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. And the ripped at 50 is not about, trying to, one-up people. It's just about what's possible, what we can create.
You know, it's interesting when we sit and look at, and tell me the history of the certified health nut too. How did that come about as your moniker or your thing or your business?
Yeah, so I started studying nutrition and functional fitness almost 30 years ago. I was sitting in Milan, Italy. I was building a career as a fashion model. I was a Versace model, and I needed to know what helped me look and feel my best. And I used to have digestive issues. So I went down to the store, the American bookstore, and I bought a few books on nutrition, and I started shopping at farmers markets. And, lo and behold, Captain Crunch and Pop-Tarts wasn't real food. And so
really?
That is
how
where I started. And 30 years since then, I've worked, I had a rock star phase, so I got really heavily into partying. I put that aside. I started studying meditation. I worked in the Amazon with an herbal company for 10 years. I worked with the indigenous healers in the rainforest, with Maori healers from New Zealand for the last 17 years. So I've run the gamut of health and healing. And I had an idea when I was in the Amazon, a vision popped into my head where it was an amalgamation of my on-camera career. I was doing stand-up comedy at the time, and my natural medicine or nutrition background popped into my head, and the certified health nut was born. I came out, YouTube was a reality, and the rest is kind of history and unfolding on social media now.
It's cool and it's fun when you sit down and you look at how life can change, but how you've melded the two. And I want to look at, because there's three main things that obviously we want everyone to learn about when they come to the conference. And nutrition and movement are two of those things. But I want to focus first of all on the mindset side of it, because, buddy, as you quite well teach, everyone knows they need to do better, eat better, do this. But the mindset part of it is something that you have a unique way of teaching. Tell me, how does that impact everything people do? Give us your take on that, because it's really important for people to understand that.
Yeah, and I think in the business community, you guys do understand that at a certain level. It was immortalized in Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. We can't have something in our hand until we visualize it in our head. So having a clear intention, a clear mindset. Look, we can be 60 pounds overweight and beat ourselves up, and it's never going to happen. But the fact of the matter is, when we flip that script over and we go, I'm going to lose 60 pounds this year, and I'm going to, hire a trainer, start eating properly, and you put these intentions into place. Maybe you read that morning and night. Maybe you have a journal that you document it. And sure enough, even if you don't reach your goal by the end of the year, if you keep doing it, eventually you're going to reach your goal if your intention is clear. So mindset is the very first step. And from there, I'm going to give everyone many tools, tips, and tricks that they can implement into their life on a regular and constant basis. Implementing 5% of what I teach will change your life forever. And so getting the mind clear first, also understanding the 6 factors of stress. We understand stress as
stress is a big one. For my team, stress is a big one. Our clients, it's a big one. So the 6 factors of stress, how does that impact us? I mean, you'll teach it to us at conference, but how does it impact us, that side of the equation?
Yes. So stress summates in the body, and there's 6 factors. And so most of them are blind to us. And so, and we usually equate stress to when we lose our temper. But the fact of the matter is stress summates in the body. There's 6 factors of it, and it builds up in your body. If you don't have a way to off-gas that or to manage and mitigate that, then it just builds up, and it either explodes externally and ruins relationships through temperament, or internally it can cause all sorts of problems. It can slow you down, which your thyroid will slow down and gain weight. An overweight body is a stressed body. It can internalize. If that doesn't get regulated, it can create illness and then ultimately disease. So understanding the stress factors in our modern world, and again, there are 6, and I will outline them perfectly, then you can be aware, and then you can be, okay, well, things are getting a little stressed out. I need some time off. I need some extra rest. I need some better hydration or nutrition, or else there will be a price to pay.
Got my hydration going on here, buddy. I got it. I think I'm going to have to go and have a salad for lunch now. That's exactly what's going on after this conversation. Listen,
or a grass-fed steak.
Thriving in the concrete jungle is what we're going to talk about. Movement is definitely a part of that. Now, for me, I'm a runner, but movement doesn't necessarily mean that. There's so many different things, as you put it. Give me a bit of a thought on that for everybody today.
Well, the first thing I'd like to say is you can't outrun a bad diet. So, there is a big misnomer, and it was portrayed in the television show The Biggest Loser. And so that's the first thing to know. Most of your fitness 75% of your fitness is going to come from your nutrition, your diet. We'll talk extensively about that as well. But when it comes to movement, again, there's a lot of misnomers out there because people think they can outrun a bad diet. But exercise, as it is a stress, and we grow from breaking the body down and then repairing it and building it back, and then we're stronger. But the fact of the matter is with all these other stressors that I'm going to go over, sometimes working out is not our optimal choice. However, movement is no different from hydration or nutrition. You need it every day. So what is the proper movement? What are the de-stressing movements that you can do? I'll give you guys a hint right away. My number one exercise for the last 10 years having my kids has been walking, because it's the one thing you can do with pushing the stroller. It's the one thing you can do on a full stomach, and it moves the body through time and space, and it moves the lymph. That's just simple. Everybody can do that. And so again, exercise doesn't have to be, I got to go to the gym and become Hercules.
Yeah. Actually, you're always on your bike too. You're always on that bike around Southern California there. So it's like, Troy's making a video again. He's got his shirt off. He's on his bike. It's like ripped at 50. It's like, you're killing me, buddy. You're killing me. Woo! So nutrition, that's the third, major key that we're going to be looking at. And obviously, everybody can learn stuff about nutrition, but in this day and age, it's not as easy to get good nutrition as it used to be.
Yes. So I'm going to teach everyone how to navigate those pitfalls, and especially in the business community, because we travel. And so I'm going to be giving tips, tools, hacks that you can do to make sure that you are fed properly. So nutrition affects performance. Nutrition is directly related to your energy output. And so we can run on adrenaline and cortisol, but that is short-lived. That will eventually break the body down and burn you out. So having the proper nutrition on a regular and constant basis, day to day, making sure that your vitamins, minerals, and enzymes, making sure that your protein, carbohydrates, and vegetables, your fruits and vegetables, they're all covered throughout the day. This is important, and we live in a domesticated world. And so being able to find the best source of nutrition, there's a lot of mail order stuff. And so I'll have plenty of information for people that they can take away, and that there'll be no excuses to have the best nutrition available to them. Yeah,
it's an interesting one. I actually had the conversation with my kids just yesterday about how, you actually have to manage and plan that stuff. And you see a lot more. I think we were actually talking about money, and it was an interesting one. There was a point about how, when it comes to wealthy people, only 23% of wealthy people are 30 pounds overweight, whereas more like 70% of poor people were well overweight. And it's a real interesting thing about the discipline. And so we had a long conversation about the level of discipline needed to be successful and whether that discipline applies to your food and yeah, it's real interesting. But I'm super excited to have you come teach everyone because, you know, it's something that often we overlook as business coaches is that there's the body that actually does that. And the last thing I want to touch on today is something that you know, you keep talking about a lot. It's hard for the mind to be in peak state if the body's not in peak state.
Yes.
And that's the thing. Tell me more about that because I think that's really important as well.
Well, ultimately, the brain is only as good as the blood it is sitting in. Mm-hmm. So back to movement, if you're a stagnant body of water turns into a cesspool, and we have to move our lymph every day, and our interstitial fluids are mixing in with our blood, etc., and they're all filtered out by our liver and our kidneys. So if these things aren't running optimally, the sharpness of your mind, the reduction of inflammation that's putting pain into your body, these things are all stresses in the back of your mind when you're out in the world performing. And so this can slow you down. This can slow performance down. And so, not only that, but also the nutrition is what makes up your cells, is what your red blood cells rebuild every 120 days. And so we want to make sure that we have the proper building blocks and that inflammatory agents and things that really aren't meant for the human body are not going in, and the stuff that's not good for the body is going out. Right. And so this will help brain performance long term. Because remember, a lot of us hit major success in our 40s and 50s. Heart attacks come on from 45 to 55. And so, we want to be thinking long term because we want to enjoy the fruits of our labor up into our 60s, our 70s, our 80s. The people are living longer right now. We don't want to be putting home. Trust me.
Definitely. Buddy, look, I can't wait to see you up in Canada. Thanks so much. Our clients, our coaches, we're all going to be there. We're going to be listening. And I'm pretty sure even just after this video, everyone's going to get off their backsides and go and do their 10,000 steps for the day. So thanks for coming along. Thanks for your time today, my friend.
Absolutely, Brad. It's going to be awesome, man. I guarantee to blow people's minds. We're going to have a great time. I'm looking forward to it.
I think you're going to blow our minds and scare us to half to death some days. It's like, yes, I got to do that. Hey, thanks, buddy. Take care now.